Okay, hey guys, so warming up, super important for every training session. There are really three components to a really good warm-up. So we've got our pulse raiser. So obviously, like right now, it's pretty cold in this room, so you want to warm up the muscles in the body. So I'd definitely be wanting to do a pulse raiser to get the blood pumping, okay? Number two is we're going to do some mobility, some mobilization. It's no good training if your body is stiff and tight. You won't get the best workout, okay? And then lastly, some activation drills, okay? So activation drills, think of it like turning on the ignition in your car. You have to actually activate the muscles before they're going to work efficiently and effectively. So we'll start with the pulse raiser. This can be anything that you feel comfortable with, okay? So you can really mix it up. So you could just do like a jog on the spot, okay? You could do some star jumps, or if that's too high impact, you can do some modified star jumps, or you could do some little mini sprints on the spot like that, okay? Or you could do some high knees, okay? If you're feeling really energetic, you can grab a skipping rope and do some skipping for 30 seconds. Okay, so that's going to get the body nice and warm and kind of just wake you up a little bit. Then we're going to mobility. So when you're doing mobility, do take into account the workout you're doing. So if you're doing, let's say you're doing very much a lower body workout, okay? You don't need to spend loads of time doing lots of shoulder rolls, okay? You really want to mobilize the lower body, the hips and the legs. Most of the workouts on our program, on the six-week program, are full body workout programs. So you do want to kind of loosen up everything. So the best way to start is from the top down. So you might just want to start with some head tilts, side to side, then move on to shoulder rolls. The thing to do with mobility is just think of all the joints in your body, okay? And then think, well, how can I mobilize those joints? So big shoulder rolls, getting some big deep breaths in as you do it, and then dropping those shoulders down to the spine, okay? So then we're moving down to the trunk, to the torso. So we want to get some torso mobility. So we get those arms wrapping around the body, okay? Like so. And then we're moving down to the hips. So you really want to be opening up the hips so you can take a leg across the body and out, across the body and out. And then vice versa, you can go out to in. Okay, so opening up the hips, out to in, out to in. You only need to do 3 or 4 reps on each side. You don't need to spend loads of time on this, okay? Then we're moving on to the quads. So just doing some heel taps will lengthen the quads. Okay, you already hear some clicks going on in my own legs. And then we're moving on to the backs of the legs, so the hamstring swings. This is a biggie, because lots of people have tight hamstrings. So swinging the leg back and forth is a really good dynamic stretch that will lengthen your hamstrings. Now if you're doing something like a squat, which you're going to be doing lots of, you want those hamstrings to be nice and loose so they can extend when you do the squat, okay? So hitting a good 10 leg swings on both sides is a really good target, okay? Then you want to be looking at the smaller joints, like the wrists and the ankles. So you can do some wrist mobility. These are things a lot of people completely neglect, but if you're doing things like press-ups and you're putting all your body weight through your wrist and you're not used to doing that, those wrists are going to get a bit of a hammering. Same as your ankles. So doing wrist rolls, followed up with some ankle mobility. So digging your toe into the floor, okay, mobilizing those ankles on both sides. And one thing I always get people to do is open up the hips, doing a standing hip flexor stretch. So this is where we go into a split stance and we push the hips forwards and we lean back and you squeeze your glutes, the muscles in your bum. Okay, you can even add pulses. And if you do have a job where you're sitting down a lot, or if you're in the car a lot, you really want to do this exercise. You really want to open up the hips before you do any squats or lunges or deadlifts. Okay, and then we are then done. I feel looser already. Now we're ready to activate the muscles in the body for the workout. So the two big muscle groups you want to activate generally are the core, okay? So the core and the glutes, okay? Because they play a big part in every single exercise. So we'll start with the core. So I'm going to give you one with a band and one without. So if you do have a band, you can do an exercise called the power press. You need to find an anchor point where you can get the band around, and then you're going to put some tension on the band, okay, put it around your hand, put the other hand over, and then you've got a little challenge. You've got to see if you can get your arms in a straight line, okay, without the band pulling you over, okay, so that would be good about there. And then slowly, what we're doing is we're keeping the tummy muscles really tight and back in. What this does, guys, is it gets really deep into the intercostals, into the deep abdominal muscle group. Okay, so we can do that side, and obviously you turn around and do the other side as well. So that's the power press. Okay, the other ab move that we do a lot with our clients is the bird dog. Okay, weird name, great move. So you're going to go into an all fours position for this. So you're going to get your wrists directly below your shoulders and your knees directly below your hips. And you're going to go into a Superman position. So this is where we take the opposite arm to the leg out. Now just make sure when you do this, you don't cheat and do what a lot of people do, where they put all the weight and they twist the body like that. So we want to keep your hips square onto the floor. Okay? If you find that challenging, okay, then the straight arm bird dog might be enough. That's just when we're just bringing the leg and the arm in a straight line into the body. Okay? If you find that pretty easy, you can go for the full bird dog, which is elbow, tapping the knee, crunching the body, and then coming back out into that Superman position. Okay, so we're pulling the knee into the body, and you're feeling the tummy muscles really crunch. Okay, really great activator. So then moving on to the glute activation drill, I've got a couple for you. Okay, real simple one is just the bridge. So just holding a bridge hold for about 20 or 30 seconds, and actually holding this exercise isn't that hard, but really squeezing the glutes makes it a lot harder. Okay, so we can also progress this with some glute hip thrusters. So going up, and then going almost all the way down, but then straight back up again. And if you really want to fire up those glutes, you can actually increase the resistance of the exercise by putting a band across your hips, okay, pushing your hands down and pushing against that band. Okay, so that's going to really fire up your core and your glutes, so you're going to be really ready to hit that workout hard. Okay. It looks like a lot, but once you kind of got the flow going, really 4 or 5 minutes should be enough. Okay, obviously you can go a bit longer if you've got the time. Okay, but that would be a great warm-up before every session. Okay.